I'm Leslie. I still remember that gray Wednesday morning in the courtroom. The atmosphere was tense, and I walked in with my lawyer, Ava, holding an organized binder. Across the table sat Ryan, my ex-husband, who once promised to love me forever. He still looked polished in his dark suit, but there was an uneasiness in his posture, and his new girlfriend was nowhere to be seen. The judge reviewed the file Ava had submitted a few days ago, which contained crucial evidence of my contributions to the startup, Green Innovations. Ava stood up, her voice calm yet firm. Your Honor, my client, Leslie Thompson, was not just a wife. She was an integral part of Green Innovations from the very beginning. As she presented the evidence on the large courtroom screen, emails where Ryan had praised my work, transfer receipts from my personal account to the company, and a hand-written ownership draft we had signed years ago, Ryan sat there, frozen. When Ava read an email where Ryan had said, "I couldn't do this without you. You're the backbone of it all," I saw his hand grip the side of the chair tightly. Ryan's lawyer objected, claiming the documents were fabricated. But the judge didn't dismiss them easily. This court needs time to verify authenticity. If these are valid, they hold significant weight, he said. It all started years ago. I grew up in a small town where my parents, a hard-working factory worker and a schoolteacher, instilled in me the values of hard work and integrity. I moved to the city to pursue a career in graphic design at a media firm. That's where I met Ryan. He was full of ideas and confidence, and I was drawn to his vision. We decided to start Green Innovations together. We rented an old warehouse and turned it into our first office. I took on multiple roles, designing the logo, building the client list, managing the finances, and even delivering orders when necessary, while Ryan focused on networking. However, when our marriage started to fall apart and we headed for divorce, Ryan and his lawyer tried to erase my contributions. In court, his lawyer claimed I was just a homemaker with no role in the company's development. I wanted to fight back, but the judge cut me off before I could say much. I felt so alone and betrayed. That night, sitting in my small rental apartment, surrounded by old invoices and faded photos of our early days at Green Innovations, I knew I had to find a way to prove my worth. Then I remembered Lily, a part-time assistant from the early days. She had a habit of documenting everything. I found Lily on social media and sent her an email explaining my situation. To my relief, she replied and invited me to meet her. At the cafe, she handed me a thick folder filled with evidence of my work, emails, budget proposals, and that crucial hand-written ownership agreement where I was supposed to have 35% ownership. With Lily's help, I found Ava, a young and sharp lawyer. She was different from what I expected. She treated me as a collaborator, not a victim. We spent hours going through the evidence, and she hired a forensic accountant, Max, to dig deeper into the company's financial records. Max's report was a game changer. It showed that between 2015 and 2018, I had transferred nearly $72,000 from my personal savings to keep the company afloat. And just 6 weeks before the divorce filing, Ryan had transferred over $120,000 into a shell company, trying to conceal marital assets. Ava filed a motion to expand the financial investigation, and the judge ordered Ryan to submit all financial records dating back to 2015. At the next hearing, Ryan arrived late, looking exhausted. Ava presented the new findings, and when the judge questioned Ryan about the transfers, he stammered and had no good answers. The court decided to place a temporary hold on Ryan's assets. 3 days later, Ryan's lawyer requested a private meeting. They offered me a one-time payment of $780,000 in exchange for me waiving my co-founder claims and keeping the matter private. But I refused. I wanted the truth to be formally recognized. 1 week later, the final ruling was issued. The judge declared that I had made substantial contributions to Green Innovations and was entitled to legal recognition as an unlisted co-founder. I received full reimbursement of my personal funds and additional compensation based on my operational role. After the ruling, I started to share my story. I launched a consulting firm, Empower Her Ventures, to help women facing similar situations. I wrote articles about invisible labor and the importance of clear agreements. My story inspired many women to speak up for themselves. One winter afternoon, Ava called to tell me that Ryan had resigned as the CEO of Green Innovations. I didn't feel triumphant. Instead, I felt a sense of closure. I knew that my worth was not defined by titles or others' recognition. I had reclaimed my voice and dignity, and I would keep moving forward, sharing my story to empower others.